Morning, everyone. Welcome to the September 23rd, 2025 meeting of Henderson County Fiscal Court. We are glad you're with us. For those watching online, we're glad you're with us as well. We'll begin as we always do with an invocation. Reverend David Salisbury from Henderson Church of Christ is with us. Please stand.
Would you bow with me? Holy Father, we come before you today grateful for your blessings, and we pause at the beginning of this meeting to acknowledge you as the giver of wisdom and the source of all authority. And we thank you for the privilege of living here in this community, for the opportunities we get to serve one another and to work together. God, we ask for your guidance today in every decision that's made. We ask that you would grant each of our leaders clarity of thought and fairness of judgment, and a spirit of cooperation. God, we pray that our discussions would always be marked by respect and humility and a sincere desire to love one another, to serve one another, and to do what is best in our community. God, we ask your blessings to be on us. We especially ask that you would be with those who work and labor in our community each day. We ask that you would bless our families, our schools, our first responders, and all those who work to make our county a safe and thriving place. Father, we ask that you would keep us mindful of those in need, that you would help us to be those kinds of people who seek justice and love mercy and walk humbly with you. We commit this meeting to your care. We ask for your blessings in all that is done here today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, David. Always a pleasure. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Magistrate Starks.
Here.
Magistrate Berry.
Here.
Magistrate Southard.
Here.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Yes, ma'am.
And Magistrate Putman.
Here.
Gentlemen, you have in your packet the minutes of the 2025 September 9th meeting of Henderson County Fiscal Court. After a period of review, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So move.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any additions, corrections, or clarifications? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, busy agenda today, and we start with our Judges Scholar. Always a pleasure. And today we have with us Mr. Daxton Pippin of Chandler Elementary School. And Daxton, I'm going to ask you to join me right up here in front of the dais.
Whereas Daxton Pippin has been chosen by A.B. Chandler Elementary School to be the recipient of the Judges Scholar Award for exceptional efforts in both academics and school activities, and whereas Daxton's hard work and dedication in making the most of educational experiences and developing positive relationships with teachers and other students will lead to future success, and whereas success is measured in many different ways, whether it be passing a test, scoring the winning point, achieving a particular goal, or taking the necessary steps for overall improvement. And whereas the Henderson County school system could not let Daxton's efforts go unnoticed, and whereas Henderson County Fiscal Court supports the school system and acknowledges these accomplishments as being significant because students, such as Daxton, will be our future leaders. And now, therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive of Henderson, join with the Henderson County Fiscal Court to proclaim September 23rd, 2025 as Daxton Pippin Day.
Anybody else who wants to join the picture?
Cute little thing.
Chandler friends, come on. Okay. One more time. You know the paparazzi, you just gotta get used to it. All right. Just keep that. Congratulations, Daxton. I'm sure whole family's proud and school's proud, and it's a big deal. And we're gonna talk about you a little bit more in a bit. But welcome, and now you get to hang out up here and see how this is done. So I always say you got to fight the urge to cast votes. I know you want to raise your hand, say aye, but you got to chill out for a little bit. So. Thank you. Okay, Mark Julian is with us from the Henderson County Water District. Mark, to give us an update on the water leak challenge.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
So I've got some, just a small educational piece I'm starting out with this morning about how we classify water loss. So of course the goal is to bring the water loss as low as possible, but it's comprised of real and apparent losses. Real losses are our line leaks, our main breaks, and then tank overflows. And then these real losses place a financial and operational burden on the utility. Apparent losses are unauthorized consumption, people either bypassing a meter, hooking up to hydrants if they're not the volunteer fire departments, metering inaccuracy or billing errors. I'm just trying to include a small educational piece as we go through these presentations. In August, we saw some better metrics. So we bought 50,120,581 gallons from the city in August, and we sold 34,168,604 gallons. That difference divided by the total gives us our percentage of 31.8. The form you see on the left of your slide here is the water loss report that we submit to the Public Service Commission each month, and that's their standardized form. Just trying to explain some of the things that you saw last month. The goal is to be below 15% for compliance with the Public Service Commission, and I just wanted to spend a moment to show you this. Did y'all have any questions about this? This is your breakdown of water loss per zone. So the whole project was one of the main pieces was to divide the whole water distribution system into 5 zones. And zone 1 is, of course, the west end of the county, Corden, Smith Mills, and Geneva. So this picture is repeated on the next slide and has the same metrics. So I'm going to go ahead, unless y'all wanted to ask a question, show you the next slide. So this is from the project inception back in late May and early June. This shows the purchased water in the first column that went into each of the 5 zones. The billed column is what we billed our customers, and then the difference is that third column. The percentage by zone is simply what we captured in revenue, what was billed, the difference out of the total that went in, and then the percentage of the total on the far right is what was lost, what was not billed for revenue by our customer, or captured revenue from our customers out of the total for the month. So like we bought $42 million in May, $46 million in June, $51 million in July, and we bought $50 million in August. And you'll see, the billed totals. We do sell a little more water in the hottest part of the year, as you would imagine. So yeah, we bought $50 million in August, and we sold 20. There's an error on that slide, and I apologize. But so that's your breakdown per zone. This is how many leaks we fixed. So last month in the August report was for July. It'll always be a month behind. So we went from 16 leaks getting fixed in July to 27. This just shows the location, what type of repair it was. Was it in the meter box, such as a ball valve? Was it a service line going to the meter? Was it a fitting, or was it a main break? And it just shows the estimated loss, the verified date, the date it was called in to get locates, to get it fixed, and then the date it was repaired. When you see the days active and you're like, why does it take this long to get it fixed? The smaller leaks just take longer to get to, and we're trying to get in a contractor to help us out with that, but the big leaks is what we go after first. It's just, if it's going to cause an outage for our customers, those are the ones we fix. And even though we have to call in locates because we're subject to the dig law, we're opening bids tomorrow for a valve exerciser / hydrovac trailer that is exempt from 811 locates. It'll let us fix more leaks quickly. This also has the amount of gallons in flushing that we use, so that whenever there is a main break, to protect health and to increase water quality, we flush to try to prevent any dirty water from getting customers. Then we have the volunteer fire department usage, and then any tank overflows. The unaccounted for loss has been decreasing, and that's good. Even though it doesn't really help us become cash positive, it is showing that we can at least track where the water is going, and I expect that to continue to increase as the project goes on. So the overall progress update for the month, we've got a project manager with a lot of good experience. Cody Kirby is the general manager of Caldwell County. He's got 20 years of water utility experience. He's got 11 years of water utility management experience. He worked for Kentucky Rural Water Association as a circuit rider and assisted water utilities such as the Water District with managing their water loss. He's also got project manager experience. So having him on board is going to help not only increase the project effectiveness, but also make these presentations a little more informative and hopefully helpful to answer any questions that the fiscal court may have. We had 27 leaks fixed, so we saw more getting fixed, which is good. Water loss improved in Zone 4. Zone 5 is where we're going to concentrate some of our efforts for leak detection, and also we're opening bids tomorrow for meter changeouts. These is where we've advertised for bids for a contractor to assist us with changing out the meters with those AMI cellular-based meters that we talked about. The board meeting for our board of directors is tomorrow. That's where we'll open the bids for the valve exerciser and the hydrovac trailer, and also the meter changeouts. And hopefully we can select a contractor. I'm also going to be discussing with the HCWD board about a blanket order for the new customer meters. That was part of the corrective action plan, was getting new customer meters installed. And we knew that we couldn't replace all the meters in the system. There's about 6,470 meters in the system, and there's just not enough project money to do that. But we feel that we could make a big dent in it. We're going to try to change out between 1,000 and 2,000 meters. And what that's going to do is that's going to decrease the water loss, because the difference between what we purchased from the city and what we sold, we got to decrease that number. So from one end of it, the way we approach it is we're trying to increase the billing accuracy. As I said last month, the meters are the cash registers, and when they're that old, their accuracies are low, they're in the customer's favor. And we want to decrease the water loss and be successful in the project and make the whole operation cash positive. So replacing the meters are a big part of this project. We're going to ask the board to commit to a blanket order to fix pricing at the lowest possible cost to get as many meters as possible. And we're also going to ask Kentucky Rural Water to come in and help us with flow metering. That's where we've dug the pit at the tanks, where I've talked about it before. And until we get the zonal and subzonal meters installed, we're actually meeting with contractors and an engineer and getting price estimates. We won't have to do the flow metering once we get fixed meters in place. Right now, we're metering what's going in the zone, but being able to track where water's going in the system and being able to hone in and make our leak detection more effective, that's the whole goal. Let's see, I said that. We're saying somewhere about 10 more meters will be installed in the system, and these are not the customer meters. These are like those zonal and subzonal meters I talked about. This is just a screenshot from our GIS that's just showing, from about the project inception, 1st of June. We've got 259 more valves added to our GIS. We've got the GIS field tech that we hired with project money. He's out there, 5-6 days a week collecting these points and putting them in the system. And that's going to be that continuity of record that's going to help us with all the operations, maintenance, project goals, and more. The graph at the bottom is just showing the progress. It just has everything from June, July, August, and September. And the graph is just showing the assets that he's putting in, so the mapping updates. These are the new customer meters. What's in the ground is a Neptune brand meter, and it's like a T10. And as I said, those are getting at the end of their service life. And these are going to be the new meters. They're going to be cellular-based AMI. What's great about these? They aren't cheap, but they will capture revenue a lot better. They'll capture low flow conditions. A lot of our customer base is residential, so people are trying to save water and save money, so they put in low flush toilets, low flow shower heads, and the like. And these meters have no moving parts. They're very reliable, and they will increase the revenue that the district bills for each month. So. And one other thing I wanted to mention is we've also got, as part of this project, Neptune offers a My360 app that whenever we start getting these meters in the ground and they're operational, we'll put on our bills or send out a flyer or something and let customers know that they can download an app for free, and it's called My360, and they'll be able to see their usage. Everybody in the system is not going to get these at once, but as more meters get changed out, they'll be able to see their usage down to an hourly resolution. So at the end of August, we had about 6,464 customers. The project goal was to replace 1,000 to 2,000 customer meters. Zone 5 is the eastern end of the county, from Tillman Bethel to Davis County. That's Basket, Reed, Spotsville. There's 1,957 customers in that area, and there's 1,913 residential meters and 44 larger 1-inch and 2-inch commercial meters. So to replace those meters, the cost, if the board authorizes us to enter into a blanket order, we'll agree to buy so many, whatever amount, somewhere in that range that they'll commit to. We can fix that cost at $360 each. If we can get them to replace 1,913 meters, that's a little under $690,000. Then, of course, the larger commercial meters are a little bit more. There's 41 1-inch and 3 2-inch. Each one of those will have a cellular endpoint and a data plan that the district will have to pay for yearly. Excuse me. But that will give the water district, right now we read once a month. So we send out our meter readers and they're on radios, and when they drive the trucks around, they get those reads. Any that don't pick up, they have to physically go to. With these new meters, they will cellular transmit their usage in daily. We're also trying to get away from the concrete meter boxes that you see out in the county. We're going to be going with, if the board authorizes it, like a corrugated pipe and white. These poly boxes are a lot cheaper. And we'll get traffic rated lids, so if someone drives a mower over it or something, it's not going to break and have to be going out and changing that. But the costs are there, and then we'll open bids tomorrow to see how much bids are coming in to get those replaced. All this will be presented to the board tomorrow. But that's the breakdown. Looking ahead, we are going to review bids on the valve exerciser and the hydrovac trailer. Also those bids on the meter changeouts to review costs and make a contractor selection. We're going to determine how many meters we can order with the project funds and continue to work on increasing the leaks found and fixed. We're going to meet with partners here on this project and determine the zone and subzone metering locations and prices, and continue to do our leak detection and training's ongoing. Just want to thank y'all for your support on this project. Do you have any questions?
So what do you think the average is per household?
Somewhere, I'd say for a household of 4, I'd say probably about 3,000 to 4,000 gallons. I have a larger household myself, and I'm not in the county, I'm in the city, but I use considerably more, but probably for a household of 4, somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 gallons.
And how much do you think the meters are off?
If we could replace all the meters in the system right now, I think that we would see somewhere between 8 and 10% decrease in the water loss. You know, we had a challenging month in July. We were around 40%, and then last month we were right around 30. So, you know, we didn't have that line leaking out there in Spotsville last month. So, we're just going to continue to try to chip away towards these project goals and get this done.
Mark, the meters, the new meters, the digital readout, do the consumers have to pick up the cost on that, or is the Henderson County Water Board going to pick it up?
So the cost of these new meters, the ones we're changing out with the project funds, that's coming from the funds that we got from the county. The data plan going forward, like there's ancillary costs like replacing the boxes, replacing the lids. Most of that is being funded with the project funds. But going forward, the other meters that are left to be changed out after the project is completed, that'll be funded with water rates. If we don't get a grant or take out some type of loan, that's how we're funded, 90% of the time.
Have you looked into any grants at that point?
Most of the time, state revolving funds are applied for, and they have been under my management. Each year, we apply for SRF funds. I will tell you, short and sweet, the process is highly competitive. A lot of the water systems have needs, and unless they're getting some grants, which grants are few and far between, but we have been applying for grants. The SRF funds are highly competitive.
Because I was just watching TV the other day, and I seen where Mr. Comer was in, I think, Webster County, and they got a $1.6 million grant from the federal government for the water system. So
Do you know if that was like USDA or rural development, or?
I can't remember. Did anybody else see that?
I think it's Union County.
Was it Union County? Yeah, that's right, because Judge Onan was on there, yeah.
So we did, as part of our telemetry, our SCADA upgrade that monitors our tank levels and what's going on in the system, we did get a Delta Regional Authority grant that came from the federal government. That's kind of supplementing the telemetry upgrade that this project's helping fund. We do apply. It's just highly competitive, and we'll continue to apply for grants to try to make resources go as far as possible.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Quick question, I don't know if you know or not, but you're talking about the pressure monitoring with these new meters.
Yes, sir.
Just looked at it real quick. Looks like that's an optional cost. So is that figured into the cost, or are those the base costs? That's with the pressure sensing?
Yes, the Mach 10 meters will monitor temperature and pressure. I mean, temperature doesn't really tell us a lot, but pressure fluctuates all the time in the system based on usage, based on if there's a break, based on if a firefighter opens up a hydrant or a water district employee opens up a hydrant. But yes, that is included.
Okay.
So your plan is to buy a third of the meters with what we donated or give,
Yes.
and then the others will be, once we make that, the others will be put on to the bill.
Pretty much. I mean, yes, we're gonna ask the board, because you all gave the district the money, and I'm asking the board tomorrow at our meeting to commit to a blanket order to fix the prices so they don't go up. And then once we have completed the project, spent the funds, hopefully we'll have better cash flow, and water loss will be lower. And then future projects, I mean, that was all kind of mentioned at the beginning when we entered into talks with the county about this. Future projects will be main replacements, like some of those mains that have been in the ground since the late 60s and 70s, to replace those old water mains and renew those services, and also to buy the rest of the meters.
Any other questions? A lot of information, Mark. We appreciate it. Keep moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we're joined by representatives of Seabury Solar, NextEra, and welcome. If you don't mind introducing yourself and letting us know who is with you.
Yep, good morning, Judge, members of the Fiscal Court, magistrates. I've got J.W. Clement and Jared Daniels with me. I'm Jason Andrews, Seabury Solar, from NextEra Energy Resources. Thanks for the opportunity. Wanted to do one quick thing, is just provide a quick update on the project.
Sure.
And again, appreciate the time. So first and foremost, thanks. So our Seabury project, Phase 1, finished its commissioning and is operational at this point. So I know a lot of folks, organizations in the community here at the Fiscal Court were a huge part in helping us achieve that milestone. So much appreciated throughout the community. Phase 2, it's already begun construction right now. They've started some of the civil work, and right now we plan that'll be complete around late summer, early fall right now in 2026. So we're looking forward to continue that and keep going on. The second about the project update, so we're aware there was a thermal event last Tuesday, so September 16th, on the Seabury Solar site. First and foremost, no one was injured. Big thanks definitely to the Kentucky State Police, Henderson County Fire Department. They all responded as planned along with our contractors and personnel, excuse me, on site. It was limited, contained as it was supposed to be. You know, right now they're doing the root cause on what caused it. Again, no one harmed or injured. We'll continue to sort of communicate and report with any local and even state requirements, but that's just wanted to provide that. One, thank you, and two, just talk to the fiscal court about the incident. So, any questions?
A little more about the fire. I know I had questions about potential hazardous emissions or any kind of potential groundwater issues from a fire like that, and I had a conversation with JW about how that works with the type of inverter that caught on fire. And JW, if you don't mind coming up to the mic and explaining a little bit more about that for folks who are interested. And you know, anytime there's any kind of industrial incident in any business, always worried about pollution and things like that. So you could talk a little bit more about these types of inverters, what's in them,
Yes.
and why it was not an event that rose to the level of calling state EPA.
Yes. These are what we call a Gen 2 inverter. They are a dry inverter. They do have some, I don't want to get too technical, but they have like some capacitors. All that's in them is mineral oil, but that's some of the internal components of them. And the reason ultimately we did, you know, went with the dry inverters is along with our permitting, it gets our risk way down. So, I mean, there's less than 25 gallons of mineral oil in these inverters, and I think regulatory wise, as long as we stay underneath that 25 gallons, and just to let everybody know, our Enviro department is in communication with the regulatory authorities. This is currently under investigation, and, you know, as we get more details, we're not going to deal in hypotheticals, we're going to deal in facts. And that, I know Taylor pretty well, and I know you, Brad. I don't deal in hypotheticals, we're going to deal in facts. So we want the right information going out, and that's what we are going to communicate with everybody.
That 25-gallon figure is important because as I read the EPA regulations, anything over 25 and involving petroleum product or anything else does trigger almost an automatic call to EPA.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah.
That is correct.
So the fact that it's under 25 is significant. Plus, mineral oil is not on the list of hazardous materials recognized
Yep.
by EPA. So there's that too. Good to know.
And with phase 2, we are going with a Gen 3 inverter, which is basically like your smartphone type. With technology nowadays, it's got some upgrades in it. And it is also a dry inverter. So, I mean, that's a good thing, and I think overall, it's good. It wasn't isolated events. You know, the design of the field, it did what it was designed to do, and the safety factors involved. It was designed, it was contained, and it did what it was designed to do.
Yeah. The report I got from the fire department, the Roberts Fire Department, was that it never left the Comex box that it sits in. That contained it as designed. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, and there were some precautions because we are in a dry season. So between us and the fire department, we wet down the area once it was put out. We wet down the area, just precautionary.
Yeah.
We did set 24-hour watch on it to make sure it got completely cool, and we are coordinating with the fire department. You know, coming up, there was some I want to say good lessons learned, but I think there's room for improvement, and we're coordinating with the fire department directly to improve anything that we could. I mean, it couldn't have gone any finer. I mean, it was out and it was contained. So any improvements we're going to get, we're going to keep the firefighters. So it's when our operation team takes over, they're in communication, Johnny on the spot. Any improvements we can make, we're going to make with the local fire department and get it done.
Our fire departments have a lot of experience with electrical fires. You know, we have a lot of industry here. They had in stock a foam substance that they use for electrical situations, and I would say Chief Denton would probably be very interested in having Seabury Solar help keep him, stocked in those substances.
We are in communicating with the chief, and yes, we are in communication and taking care of that.
Never know.
I got that same response from Chief Denton too. He let me know that they're working to keep it in, right amount of stock in case they need to do anything, but his communication was an echo of what JW said. Contained, never, in question what it was. It went, outside of the event not happening, went as good as it could.
Yeah, I appreciate the compliments you gave Robert's Fire Department.
And I know, some individuals address me, the emails that I'm getting, they are going to be answered, but we just wanted to get up here overall in an open setting and let everybody know that we are, currently investigating the root causes, and we will be communicating with any emails we get, and we'll address them accordingly.
And I believe I'm correct in saying that those types of inverters, or inverters in general, are common across industries, across electrical providers. It's not necessarily exotic new equipment or anything.
No.
It's just more of we've got all over the county in many respects, especially down in Roberts, where Big River's infrastructure is in existence. They need to be cognizant of that type of response anyway. So good to know that this first incident, hopefully the last incident, went well as far as first response goes.
It did.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Can I just bring something up real quick about, and maybe Kenny Garrett back there might want to address this real quick. Sarah Title III is, I think, the federal legislation that requires companies, any kind of company, if they have any kind of hazardous type materials, to report that on is it an annual basis or every?
Yes. And all of our departments, from engineering, construction, enviro, we're following all the proper, anything that is permitted and falls under the permit, we're constantly on top of and reporting accordingly.
And those records are
Yep.
public, and
They should be.
Anybody can view those at their leisure.
I want to say yes, they should be able to, but we'll get them directed. If there are any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll get you in the point, in contact with the right person.
Because I'm just not too sure very many people really know that that's available
It
as a
is.
resource. And that you also, in those LEPC meetings, the local emergency planning, talk with our first responders.
Yes.
And let them know what kind of materials they may be encountering once they arrive. And they have a book, don't they, that they
Yeah.
carry with them?
Well,
That's
that was the first thing when they did show up to site, is, me and the chief got together, and I said, hey, this is what you're dealing with.
That's what it said, okay.
Just to verify.
Okay, I just thought that might be for public education.
Yes.
Would that be that MSDA book?
Most everything you got has got an MSDS sheet, so.
Those are all available to?
Yeah, overall, anything we got that you can find in the documents, our permit documents, everything that's on there, you should be able to find MSDS sheets on them. You can just, if you know the product, just get online, you can get the MSDS sheet.
Thank you.
And again, every year you can update that. As you say, the technology changes, maybe the material changes,
Yep.
the amounts change, so.
Yep.
Okay, just for clarification, I
Oh, no
appreciate
worries,
that.
no
Thank you.
worries.
Thanks, and we hope we can do this regularly.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Excellent. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I noticed we do have Linda White with us from Deaconess Henderson Hospital, and I asked her to come and discuss with us, with any other guests she might have, a proposal for potential use of our opioid funds here in Henderson. And I'll invite any representatives of the hospital to come up and speak. A written part of the proposal should be in your packets. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Michelle Heath. I am the team leader at the pain procedure area at Deaconess Henderson Hospital.
And my name is Dr. Acebu. I'm a pain physician at Deaconess Health.
Thank you.
So, good morning. So just thank you for the opportunity to speak to everybody today. I know everyone's aware of the opioid crisis in the state of Kentucky, and it's also relevant to our community here in Henderson. At Henderson Hospital, we are fortunate enough to have 2 pain physicians that work on our campus. So that provides a great opportunity for our patrons in Henderson as an alternative to the opioid reliance that they may have. So our doctors are Dr. Esabal and Dr. Diab. They are both full-time physicians specializing in pain management at our Henderson campus. They do a wide variety of different pain injections, ranging from joint injections, hip injection, knee, shoulder, elbow, wrist. They also do epidural injections. They can do nerve blocks, nerve ablations, which is cautery of a nerve, and facet injections. Those injections are typically in the neck through the back. They also do specialty procedures, spinal cord trial stimulators, so that is placing a stimulator typically in the back. It's a temporary thing. If they see success with that stimulator, then Dr. Esabal can place a permanent trial stimulator, which again would reduce use of opioid reliance. Dr. Esabal is actually the only provider in Deaconess Health Systems that can place a permanent pain spinal cord stimulator. So we are very fortunate to have that. The Henderson campus, we're currently doing approximately 1,600 pain procedures a year. Of course, we want to continue to grow that. So with that, we are requesting 3 items: a C-arm fluoroscopy x-ray machine, high-resolution ultrasound machine, and a fluoroscopy C-arm patient table. These items will help improve our patients that experience chronic pain, increase their quality of life, as well as decrease opioid use. The C-arm machine is a real-time x-ray machine. It is used during the actual procedure to show specific areas for needle placement. It's a machine that can be moved back and forth to easily pinpoint the exact area that the doctor would need for the needle placement. It's also critical to avoid complications in those procedures, especially when you're injecting a neck or a back area. The ultrasound machine also provides real-time visualization for needle entry. That is mostly used in joint spaces where we talked about injecting of the hip, knee, shoulder, elbow. And then the procedure table, that is actually a table for the patient to be on during the procedure. The x-ray images can pass through the table without obstruction and also deliver high-quality imaging during the procedure. It's also beneficial because it helps us place the patient in the correct position, which in turn makes that easier for the doctor to do the injection. Our pain patients that are there have limited mobility a lot of times. They are oftentimes in wheelchairs. They have difficulty just walking from one area in the hospital to the other. They're on walkers or canes. This new table that we would like to be able to purchase gives us the capability to transfer patients easier than the current one we have. It also would help us position the patient better for a better outcome with the injection. Also, improved diagnostic capabilities with the ultrasound machine and the C-arm unit would enable us to have the doctor, the physician, have more accurate needle placement during the injections and nerve blocks, increase the precision that they use for a more effective and targeted placement during the procedures, all while minimizing complications. In turn, if the patient benefits from effective pain relief, fewer side effects, and successful procedure outcomes, then that reduces the need or reliance of the opioids. And also with the enhanced procedure table, transfer of those patients reduces the risk of injury, it improves the patient experience, and aligns with the best practices for procedural safety. The investment in the new equipment will increase procedural efficiency, support long-term patient care, enhance patient care, and improve procedure outcomes, all with the intent to decrease use of opioids. I realize upgrading this equipment is an investment that it will directly support the mission to deliver high-quality pain management at our Henderson campus while enhancing the capabilities of the physicians, improving patient outcomes, and ensuring that our facility would remain at the forefront of the pain medicine. The importance of this for our community, Dr. Esselbaugh can speak more to how they manage the medication side of it, but we want the patient to have the best outcome, relief of pain, decreased reliance on opioids.
Any further comments?
No, I think Michelle covered it well. When we think about managing chronic pain, we think about three main pillars: using conservative care, interventional therapies, and then relying on opioid medications. Opioid medications tend to be the last resort options, and so to try and avoid the use of these medications or try and reduce the use of these medications, we have to have successful interventions. And I believe interventional therapies, minimally invasive surgeries that we offer to our patients in Henderson Hospital are probably one of the most effective treatment modalities that we have to avoid opioid dose escalation or the starting of these medications. So I do think it is very important for us to continue offering these treatment modalities, making sure that we offer these treatments in a very safe manner, and precision is the key there. I think this new equipment will allow us to achieve that while also making the procedures themselves successful.
So, before we launch into questions, I'll remind the court about our opioid fund. As it currently sits, I think we have a little over $430,000 in it. More on the way. We'll be getting those funds for years to come. And you know, we have struggled to find projects or remedies or things that fit within the very narrow guidelines of the instructions on spending the money from the national settlements. But I met Mayor Cotton from Madisonville at Local Issues Conference, and he mentioned to me that they had been able to identify these same types of instruments for the hospital in Madisonville, which I think is a joint effort between Baptist Health and Deaconess, and decided that from their estimation this did fit within the guidelines, and spent a similar amount of money to help the hospital down there with these pain management tools. And as you all know, despite the best efforts of any provider, often medical procedures that eventually end up requiring some prescription medicine can lead to an addiction even after you leave the care of the facility. And I mean, I think you've all have experienced maybe some of that in your lives with people you know, or I think it's not too difficult to develop an addiction. And then after they leave care, then they often are left to their own devices to continue to feed the addiction, where, you know, things like fentanyl come into play, and other instances that are dangerous to our community. So having heard Mayor Cotton's description of how this would help with reduced prescription of opioids to deal with post-surgical pain, other reasons for pain management, it made a lot of sense to me. Money's not the issue. It's just making sure we fall within those guidelines. And what I'd ask the court today is to consider moving forward with this as we get a review of the guidelines and making sure it fits, and also develop, if the court so chooses, a resolution, agreeing to do this. We can't do it all today if we want to. We have to probably one more step. But with that was the basis for asking for a proposal and bringing these good folks here to court today. Any questions of them or of that?
No, Judge, it's a comment that, I agree. I think you need something like that, and we do struggle with these opioid funds. So as long as it all fits the criteria and the regulations, it sounds like a good plan to me.
I agree.
Move forward.
Yep, I agree.
I agree. I would ask, are you making any similar ask to the city?
Not yet. I don't think we've gotten that far. I asked Linda to bring this to us because I thought it was a good idea, and having heard Mayor Cotton. Plus, as you know, I feel a responsibility, I think we all do, to deploy those funds for the purpose needed. We continue to sit on them. It becomes a little bit more frustrating, partly because of the guidelines are so narrow. We can pull the city in if you'd like, but we don't need to.
Well, I was
but
just
I understand
curious,
what you're saying.
or I didn't know if maybe you had a different proposal for them than they did for us, but I don't disagree that this would be a good use. I do want to make sure it does fit the guidelines. So, thank you.
So, I guess I like what I heard, what you're looking at, but I didn't hear any numbers. How much, I mean, from what I heard you say, it sounded to me like we're talking millions of dollars.
No.
No?
You have the proposal in there.
Yeah.
Back.
I believe it was, what, $319,000,
$319,000 basically.
That sounds a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
And again, I think our balance at the moment is 430 and change, and will only continue to grow.
So I wear a couple of different hats. I give legal advice to the fiscal court, and I also prosecute crimes. I see what horrible things opioids have done in the lives of people in this community and others, and what it's done to our community. So anything that can be done to keep people from ever getting dependent initially is very, very important. So I think that's fantastic. If this is going to be something on the front end that's going to keep somebody from getting to where they're dependent on opioids. I do have grave concerns about whether or not this actually fits under KRS 15.291's list of what we can actually spend the money on. So I will reach out to Lee Riddle, the county attorney in Madisonville. He and I have actually spoken about opioid settlement funds on several occasions and trying to come up with things. So I'd like to see how they've been able to shoehorn this into 15.291 to get it approved by the state opioid abatement commission. So I think there's some legal traps that we need to check on our end. Also, there are concerns about providing equipment to a private entity that is theoretically going to be charging for the use of the equipment that we provide. If you're going to be billing insurance, Medicaid, private individuals for the use of this ultrasound machine or the C-arm, obviously that's government using taxpayer money to buy a piece of equipment that is a revenue stream for a private organization. So there's some legal concerns about a lot of that, but I love the idea. Judge, I also know that CAECO has come out with some guidelines and recommendations on how to create county opioid settlement fund advisory committees within the county, and I think the idea of getting a group of stakeholders and experts together to really look into things like this and go out and search for potential solutions is something that really might be a good idea here in Henderson County, like it's worked in some other counties.
So, any other questions? The next steps are we are going to review it, Mr. Gold's homework assignment, and we will be getting back in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You might recall we have a Board of Zoning Adjustment vacancy. David Littrell resigned from the board, and his term lasts until April 15, 2026. And after talking to a few candidates, I would recommend to Fiscal Court that Andy Rideout, who is obviously a well-established business person and county resident, be appointed to replace David Littrell through the end of that term, again April 15th, 2026, and then be eligible for reappointment if he desires and we approve. So, any questions about that? Can I get a motion to appoint Andy Rideout to the Board of Zoning Adjustment?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have a couple bid openings, and the first is bids on the clerk's office renovation. This is a renovation to improve security down in our clerk's office, and we have the bids up here. Deputy Weeson, anything you'd like to add to that description?
Good morning. No, we've been working with Renisa on trying to develop a scope of work for this. It's been a work in progress because there's no clear cut exactly what we want to do down there. The whole idea is to provide better security for the clerks by instituting what most places have as far as bullet resistant glass above the counters instead of the open countertops. So we'll see what we have this morning.
Okay.
Like I said, we're working closely with Renisa on this, making sure that all her desires and what works best for them. Okay. First bid I have is from Arc Construction. Okay, their total cost bid is $329,880. And the other bid we have is from Midwest Contracting. And their proposed cost is $270,900. Now these two bids, we'll have to evaluate them because this is not a simple a bid like for a piece of equipment. It's going to have to be evaluated as far as comparing apples to apples because of the design involved with it, and see which one each one proposed and what may work out best for Renisa in the office. We'll take these under consideration.
Okay, thank you. Next bid opening is for county paving projects with County Engineer Nick Stallings. Again, we have quite a bit of paving projects scheduled for the year. I think nearly $1.8 million in paving. Should get a lot of road miles done.
I can go through the list of roads if y'all want me to. You want me to go through the list of roads, what roads we're paving?
Sure. If it's okay, it's a long list.
It's decent. I mean, it's pretty good, but I can run through it real quick. That way everybody out in the radio waves know what we're paving. Our asphalt base, we're doing Cheatham Road, which is in District 1. We're trying to finish that up to the last house to kind of keep from rock dust getting everywhere. We're looking at South Pleasant Valley and Upper Delaware for base in District 2. We're looking at John Tapp and Green Lake Baptist for base in District 3. That's all going over rock roads. This already rock roads. We're trying to put asphalt in there. We try to knock out a few places every year in each district to get rid of rock in front of somebody's houses. Obviously for dust and for dust reasons, and obviously for safety reasons. Then for the asphalt surface in District 1, we're looking at Basket Ridge, Greenville Road number 2, State Street, Hillside Lane, East and West Pike, Hospen Newburgh, Highland, Reed Bluff City, and Rita Owensboro. Then District 2, we're looking at Upper Delaware, Sportsman Club Road, Miller Delaware, Mill Cates, and Jones Brothers. And then in District 3, we're looking at Cord and Green Lick to be paved surface. So total is about 22,000 tons of asphalt, and that equates to about 19 miles of paving. So it's a good year, good year. All right, our first bid from Rogers Group. We had it set up where our surface is, they bid $94.10 a ton, and their base at $80 a ton. There's that one. All right, next one is from just got to get into it, you know what I mean? Just got to get into it. All right, so the next one is Scotty's. They have a bid. All right, they have their surface at $96.98 a ton, and their base at $90.22 a ton. The yeah, all right. All right, this is from EMB Paving. One other condition that we had on this bid is for start date. If the contractor could start earlier this year, because we actually made the completion date May 15th of next year, but obviously weather dependent. If they can start this year, being towards the end of the season, we would look at allowing them to start this year and use that as part of selection for the bids. So that's another thing that I've got to look back at the other two contractors on what they bid for their planning start date. Yeah, EMB just did it for free, I think. All right, EMB put the surface at $107 a ton, and they put the base at 175 cents a ton. Their anticipated start work date is April of next year, so they don't have any indication of trying to start this year to get it completed. So their anticipated start date is April of next year. The completion is our completion date, which is May 15th of next year. Then let's go back real quick. So for the record, we have Scotty's. They are having they're having a planned start work date of November 1st, and they're having a anticipated completion date of May 15th. So they are trying to start this calendar year. And again, temperature requirements, may cut them short of finishing this year. Then we have Rogers. All right, Rogers is, they're anticipating to start October 15th of this year, and their anticipated completion date is May 1st of next year. So if you all give me a little bit of time, I'm going to go through and go through these bids, come back up during good of the county, and make a recommendation so we can go ahead and get this paving together.
Sounds good. You want to hang out and talk a little bit about Reed Bluff City Road?
That's right. Okay, we had a couple residents on this road come to us and ask if they could put a gate up. There's a lot of pharmacologically information, things going on back there that they would rather not have happen. So they asked if they could put a gate up. The way we do that at a county is if we got to remove that road from county maintenance. There's a KR statute that's follow that. Number one is make it public for 30 days by placing signs around that area. Then we've got to submit notes to everybody that lives or has property out there saying what we're going to do. We become reviewers of the road. I'm one. Y'all need to select two for us to be reviewers, for them to be reviewers of the road. What that does is basically look at this road, take a look and say, does it serve the county or does it not serve the county? A lot of these roads, end at the river, but there's half a mile farmland before you get there. So the only people using it is farmland, farmers, or...
Before you go any further, just to clarify, we're not closing the whole road.
No, that road is actually being paved. There is 3.6 miles of asphalt. There's a half a mile of gravel.
And you're
The
talking
gravel
about the
portion.
half a mile of gravel.
Yes, the gravel
at the end,
portion is
yeah.
what we're looking to shut down or discontinue maintenance.
Yeah.
So it's basically about a quarter mile south of Paul Haynes Road. It becomes gravel, and then it goes back to the river. That's where all the activities happen, and
And basically, the maintenance becomes the responsibility of owners on either side?
Of the homeowner. It reverts back, the way statute says, it reverts back to the previous landowner. But typically, farmers and anybody who has property, hunting properties, that happens a lot on hunting ground. At the end, they want to keep people out, so they put a gate up.
So collectively, they can put a gate up?
Absolutely, and then they disperse keys as they will. But we won't close it down before residents for emergency personnel reasons.
Right.
So I told them the only place we can stop is right at the last driveway, and it gives them a place to put a gate up, and then that becomes their property, that they maintain it, and they keep what they put out of it.
And Master Barry, this is in your district. Can I suggest as reviewers, Master Barry, and also former county engineer Bill Hubiak?
All right.
Is that acceptable to the?
Judge, I don't believe that a magistrate
Can be. Okay, let me review it. I think Bill's probably available. A lot of experience there. I'll double check on a third person. I'll work with you.
Daxton, is he available?
Daxton?
You want to go look at the road? All right. Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Okay, Recycling Supervisor Eric Higgs, you want to come up and give us an update?
Morning, sir.
So we have got a lot of stuff going on. This weekend's the second of our 3 fall cleanups. It's going to be in Cardin at the field across from the basketball courts. The Roberts cleanup was a huge success. We was extremely busy both days. The mayor was very kind, and so the mayor from Cardin is as well. What I am going to do in Cardin, though, is I'm also going to be taking our recycling dump bed trailer out, offering free recycling during the cleanup. That way people can get rid of their bulky items, but also can recycle at the same time. Next weekend, October 4th, we are partnering with Henderson Water Utility to do our second fall river sweep. We usually do a river sweep in the spring, one in the fall, where we clean up the Henderson riverfront. So that's coming up the following weekend. Litter abatement. So we had received $34,090.17 from the state. As of today, we have spent $43,169.05. For a crew of 3 of us, we have cleaned up a total of 287.60 miles of county roads. We've picked up over 80 illegal dumps off county roads so far this calendar year. We have received the 3 rollback containers. The new paper shredder should be in today or tomorrow. We're still waiting on the forklift and the other 3 small self-dumping hoppers. And lastly, the Household Hazardous Waste Day. That is also coming up. That will be October the 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Recycling Center.
Did the first fall cleanup weekend go pretty well?
All went really smooth.
Yeah.
Really smooth.
And that was at Roberts?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
No, thanks. You're doing a great
Thank
job,
you.
Eric. Appreciate you.
Okay, if I could have Jailer Todd join us, and as part of the ongoing work towards the expansion project, there's a resolution in your packet that Jailer Todd needs us to read and vote on.
Yes, there's the application so far. I would like to have a resolution and what the judge had for breakfast this morning. We should be in pretty good shape.
So we do need to read the whole resolution.
Whereas Henderson County, through its detention center staff, has conducted extensive research and study into the existing county jail operations and conditions, and whereas the location of Henderson County in the Commonwealth of Kentucky is such that an expanded Henderson County detention center would be able to efficiently serve Henderson County, nearby counties, as well as the Commonwealth and federal penal system with expeditious access to the circuit court and federal court system. And whereas additional bed and program space would provide an opportunity for Henderson County to reduce future operational costs. And whereas it is necessary to apply the Kentucky Department of Corrections and the Kentucky Local Facility Construction Authority for approval of plans to construct a detention facility expansion. Now therefore, be it resolved, Henderson County Fiscal Court intends to expand its current facility located on Borax Drive in Henderson County, Kentucky by approximately 100 beds, and construction costs are expected to be $7.5 million, subject to appropriate review and approval by the Department of Corrections, availability of funds, and compliance with all applicable laws.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We also have some surplus equipment from the
Yes,
jail?
there are some doors and door frames and glass stuff that came from the CSC remodeling, and some doors from the main. They're beat up. I looked at trying to use them, but they've been scratched and beat up, and frames have been, so we're just going to surplus them.
You're going to read the summary of the resolution to declare these surplus and put them out for bid.
A resolution declaring certain county property to be surplus and providing for the disposition thereof.
Get a motion?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any other questions on these items? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You also have a report from the detention center. Any questions about those or further comment?
Just one thing, we had a unannounced state inspection from Justin, and everything went well. Had non-compliance of overpopulated, so we're working on that. I'll send a letter to the state. I would like to go out for a 15-passenger van. We got last year a bid. It's budgeted, and it's still that it'll be the other 15-passenger that's giving us some concerns, and so that'll put us in good shape.
If you can't find one on state contract, you know the drill.
Yes,
Work with Kurt and get a bid going.
Yeah, know the drill.
Any other questions about Jailer Todd's report?
We have to vote on him going out for a bid?
You'll vote on the
It's a budgeted item.
yeah.
Okay.
So, any other questions of Jailer Todd? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Renee Sabner, County Clerk. And Master Souther, your point's well taken. I'm going to give him opportunity to see if he can find it on state contract, and if he can't, come back to us, and we'll get the bid process started. If you want to go ahead and take a vote, just allowing him to go out to bid, just make sure we have it on the record in case, I'd be open to that.
I move that we let them go out for bids for a
second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good morning.
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 I have the report today for the month of August 2025 for the office, and we have the total amount remitted to the county as $194,913.94, and excess fees for the month, $133,201.22. And that's $4,000 more than August of 2024. Do you have any questions?
Move to accept.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renee.
Mr. Gold, your report.
All right, Judge, I've got several checks today. Interest in the amount of $698.70. Flow through from the city, $458.33. Health insurance, $16,892.77. Aflac, $364.74. Dental life and vision, $11.10 and $717.10. Jail fees, $104.54. Interest, $31.41 and $1,096.44. So the total remitted to the county today is $20,375.13, and makes the total for the fiscal year so far $66,742.50. And Daxon says that he's never handled $20,000 before, so I'm going to ask you to hand that to the judge. And I always say it's just like being an adult. You know, you get some money, and then you have to turn around and hand it to the government.
That's adulting, yeah? Good job. Motion to approve those payments from the county attorney?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Treasurer Ryder.
The transfers are as presented, and these are just redistributing appropriations within the existing budget. Also have two cash transfers from the state grants fund to the jail fund, $9,384. This is to correct an electronic fund transfer error from the Bureau of Prisons for housing for the month of June of 2025. Also from the state grants fund to the general fund, $22,724. This represents the annual refuge revenue sharing payment received from the Fish and Wildlife Services, and is available for general fund expenditures.
Move to approve the transfers, Judge.
Motion. We have a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
You have received your bank balances after paying claims today. Your day-to-day appropriation line should be at approximately 25%. I do have additional claims. From the general fund to Randy Tassa, $598.40. This is for reimbursement of training expenses and is to come from the building inspector training travel appropriation line. From the jail fund to Republic Services, $810.74. This is for monthly service and is to come from the contracted services other appropriation line.
Move to pay the claims.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions about claims? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we jump into go to the county proper, Kenny Garrett is with us, and I asked him to come and give us a briefing on a new tool that he has decided to utilize to help inform the public about emergency situations. You should have a handout. It's called Know Now. It's a new application, and I'll let you describe it.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, let me get my little thingy here. Here we go. Okay, so on the screen, for everybody else that's watching, bottom left-hand corner, there's a little link there. If you click Know Now, it'll bring up the flyer that the court has in front of them. So basically, late last week, I started awareness to the public via social media on this product. I was made aware of it at the conference that we went to early this month in Louisville for the Emergency Services Conference. So it looked like a really good product. It's something that's been rolled out nationwide to all the emergency managers. There's no cost involved for the county. There's no contracts involved for the county. It's just a product that's available to us from this particular company, and it's basically for public alerting and informational sharing, general awareness of things that are going on. We all get a notices on weather and things along those lines through various types of alerts, but in emergency management, what we look for is we look for multiple ways to keep people alerted. So this is just one of those ways that we want to use in addition to generally social media, whether it's X or Facebook or even the news media, things like that. So this is another one that is going to be really good for us because not only does it do just automatic updates, but we can actually push out our own updates that we want to do. So if the timing's right and we've got a situation where maybe we've got a road closed or something like that and we want to get the word out that the bridge is backed up for 6 hours or something, like normal, we can do that through this. And everybody that signs up on the app, you'll get that notification. So one of the really nice thing about that is this thing will follow you wherever you go. If you go to Florida and the emergency managers in that area, they're signed up on this, you'll get alerts in their communities as well. So it's really neat that we've got this available to us. I really like the idea that it's free, so that doesn't cost us anything, and it doesn't cost the public anything to sign up. The QR code's there, just sign up for it, and we're going to kind of enhance that push to the public through local media and things like that as the days go on and we get more information out to the folks. Again, there's this is available here on the website, so anybody that wants to go check a look at it when you get home, or if they go back and read this or look at this video, it'll be here for the future. So that's really it. It's a really simple product. It'll keep us all alerted, and it's just another way that we can get alerts.
Just to be sure, this isn't replacing any of our current.
No, sir. This is just
avenues.
one more way to get alerts. Yeah. So you got we'll get that toolbox full of different ways to do it. Some people like this, some people like that. Okay.
And I know it's free. Do they use anything like ads or similar kind of revenue streams to help pay for this?
I've had it up and running on mine. I haven't had one ad yet.
Okay.
So no.
I was just going to say, having control over what ads kind of appear on something we're utilizing is something to think about. But if they don't even use ads, more power to them.
I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah. Any other questions about that? Yeah.
HyperReach.
HyperReach is still our primary alerting software, and I thank you for bringing that up because I always like to promote that anywhere. Right there you go, Brent, thank you. Click on that. This is HyperReach. This is our bona fide, if you will, emergency alert system. 2 weeks ago, I think it was, when we had the big fire over in Newburgh, and we had that plume of smoke coming down into Henderson County, I used HyperReach tied in with iPause, which is a FEMA alerting system that basically, when we use that, you get that amber alert sound on your phone that will wake you up in the dead of night. And that's what HyperReach will give us. So HyperReach is an opt-in system, just like KnowNow. You have to sign up to be able to get it. So anyone that's interested in getting those emergency alerts here from us, that comes directly through HyperReach. So please, HyperReach and KnowNow are two of the big ways that we recommend folks get alerted around here.
Any other questions? Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good
Appreciate
luck.
it. Yep.
One more item. We lost a longtime public servant last week. Bruce Farmer was involved in the coroner's office for decades, in addition to his longtime work as a local EMT. And we send out our condolences. I would, if you don't mind me saying, all of us to their family. And I think funeral arrangements are being set, so look for that. But all very familiar with us was Bruce, and somebody who spends that amount of time serving the community certainly leaves behind a legacy of helping people, and can't hope for much more than that. So again, to the folks in the coroner's office, Sheila, please send our regards. And they have carried on, both after Mr. Farmer resigned and in the wake of, his passing. So it's hope keep the family in our prayers. With that, I will open it up to anybody who'd like to speak for good of the county. Come to the mic. Nope. Might have a recommendation.
All right, by reviewing everything, looking at their credentials and what they bid price-wise and starting date, I recommend us going with the Rogers Group. They both have a lower base price and surface price, and they also are planning on trying to start earlier start date. So that's my recommendations.
Get a motion on the recommendation?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Anybody else for good of the county? With none, I'll go around the horn. Magistrate Southern.
Well, congratulations, Axe. So, out of everybody at Chandler School, you got picked to be the one. That's pretty cool. I know your family. I've known them since your mom was smaller than you. So, I worked with your grandpa I worked and Grandpa was there for about 30 years. and you're good people, and it shows because you're doing the right things. And I'm proud of you. And congratulations again. On a sad note, the recycle budget for the guys picking up trash on our roadsides is way over. It's sad that we can't drive down our roads without looking at trash. And I really, really wish we could catch more, do more, and start prosecuting these guys, because we want to leave our country and our county better than it is, and throwing trash out in the ditch don't do it. But other than that, all's good in District 3, and I look forward to taking the little man out to eat.
All right. And I know he makes comments about knowing you when you were little. People don't realize he's got a baby face, but Magistrate Southard is 92 years old. That's how he knows all these people from way back. Yeah. Thank you. Magistrate Tompkins.
Congratulations, Daxton. I got all kinds of reports from you, or about you, rather. Your librarian was excited and told me how good of a young man you were. So I was anxious to get to see if you're really as cool as she said you were, but it seems by all accounts that it works out. So, and I too know your grandmother for sure. You know, she has known us for a long, long time, so I know they're super proud of you. But Magistrate Southern's right, great family, so you guys should all be very proud. I've heard lots of tremendous things about him, but keep doing the right things for the right reasons, even when nobody's watching. That's what'll continue to let you block out all the noise that comes along with being a leader, and it'll help keep you on your course. So we're proud of you. Congratulations. And Judge, we're excited to get the paving going on out there in District 2, the completion of the road repairs for the solar fields for the first group from Geronimo, which was formerly National Grid. All went well. Nick and I rode on them. They all are doing good. They're finishing up the shoulder work, but it's, unless Nick wants to correct, I think it all went very well. They did a good job repairing the roads.
Are they about done?
They're complete.
Excellent. Thank you. Master Pupman.
Thank you, Judge. Dax, I don't know your parents. I mean, I met them this morning. They appear to be great people, you know, so you're lucky. And again, just congratulations. It's a big honor. And we spoke before the court meeting, and I'll let you know, your parents know that this is another day of celebration. You got your birthday, then today, September 23rd, is Dax Day in Henderson County, Kentucky. So enjoy it. Enjoy your lunch with Magistrate Southern. And just a brief, Mr. Gold and I attended the DAR day last week, and they was from Niagara School. And it was an exceptional program. They were really good. And Angela was there too as well. But and all is good in District 4, Judge.
Mr. Gold.
I'll echo what everybody else says. Congratulations to you, Daxton. At one point, I leaned over and said, "Are you bored yet?" And he said, "No." And I was kind of surprised because it was in the middle of Nick reading off all the bids for paving, and the fact he was still engaged during that's a big deal, because I think a lot of us were a little like, okay. But like I said before the meeting, we do a lot of things that I call boring but important. But some of the things we did were boring and exciting today. Seeing the progress that the water department's making on all of their stuff, going to be renovating the circuit clerk's office to make it more useful for the public and safer for the employees. There are all kinds of things like that going on are pretty exciting. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what has been said before about leadership and serving and doing the right thing when nobody's looking. We talked about a fellow that used to be our coroner here, a guy named Bruce Farmer. You probably didn't know Mr. Farmer, but he was the kind of guy, if there was something good going on in the community, he was there somewhere helping out. It may have been quietly, it may have been at the Memorial Day celebration in the park handing out water to people. It may have been working at the Handy Festival, volunteering for the Fraternal Order of the Police. He was a first responder. He would show up, you know, when you called the ambulance, he was one of the people that showed up. He served as our county coroner. He never did the glamorous stuff, but he was always there working, trying to make people's lives better. And I will say to you that as you grow up, I just want you to think about, you know, a lot of people think of leadership as a position. Oh, somebody's elected to this or been appointed to this. They're a leader. You can be a leader. Leadership is an action, not a position. You're a leader today. You're a leader in your school. Nobody's said, "Oh, we're electing Daxton a leader." You've been leading. You've been doing the right thing. People have noticed that you're doing great things, and that other students are watching the good things that you're doing. And that's why you got picked today. So congratulations for that, and keep that up. Do want to congratulate the folks at the Chamber of Commerce. Had their big annual dinner last night, and there were several awards given to Buzzy Newman and Leslie Newman, Casey Todd and Brock Murphy. All of them deserved a lot of things that they're doing and that they've done quietly within the community for years and years, and learned about each of them a lot of things I didn't know they were doing or had done, great in the community. So that was great to see, and congratulations to all of them. Do want to address litter. I will say we recently, Eric was able to work with the Sheriff's Department and actually find out who had done some illegal dumping, and all of the harping about it that I've been doing about that to our local judges. Once we found out, the judge actually did put a warrant out for the arrest of that individual that did that illegal dump. Criminal littering in Kentucky, there's only 1 degree. It's not like there's 1, 2, 3 degrees. There's only 1 degree. So somebody throwing the cigarette butt out the window versus dumping an entire truck of stuff on somebody else's property is all the same thing. So sometimes that gets confusing for judges when they see a criminal littering charge. It can be anything in that pretty broad spectrum. But this was a true illegal dump situation, and there was a warrant issued for that, and that case is ongoing. But I just wanted to say that it is something that since it's been such a focus of this fiscal court, it's so often so hard to catch, but the sheriff's office and Eric did a great job in tracking that down, and really glad to see that happening, because like you say, it is something that is so difficult and so difficult to stop. So hopefully there are messages being sent about how that's not acceptable in Henderson County. Things are good in the county attorney's office. We're looking forward to getting everybody back from all their maternity leaves soon so we can get back a little bit to normal. But the folks we do have in the office that haven't been out have really stepped up and done wonderful jobs, and I'm blessed to work with a lot of great public servants.
Thank you. Master Barry.
Well, after that, it's hard to say anything. If I'd have went after Magister Starks, I'd have just been done. He usually covers me. Going this way is a little bit different. That's okay. Congratulations, Daxton. I know everybody's told you that, but I'll say that again. It's your day. Where's lunch? Homer's Barbecue. Hope, Tim, you like barbecue, I'm sure. Yeah, he may have. Listen, I know you said you hadn't been bored. There may be a test before you get to eat on all this stuff. I don't know. It's up to him. I always say that. He's not going to give you a test. You just get to eat. Yeah. Family, we're glad to have you here. Seems like a great young man, and we know he is. He's going to do well. Talking about the trash, I think I just mentioned to Jailer Todd, and he's told me that, correct me, Bruce, if I'm wrong, that he's trying to get another crew out picking up trash. But would like to get back to where pre-COVID times when they had 3 crews picking up every day. And that all went away, and I had more calls about that than probably anything I've had. That's why we're not picking up trash. And it was COVID. They let people out and we didn't have them, but we'd love to see that again, Jailer Todd, and I know you're working on that, so that'd be great. I still get questions about that. And thank Nick. I've worried Nick to death lately over a couple of roads and boat docks and things like that, and Nick always comes through, always. So thank you, Nick. Don't mean to worry you, but I have to call you sometimes. So thank everybody, all the elected officials. Sheila, thank you for being here. Renisa, everybody. Thank everybody that came today. So I think with that, we're good in District 1. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Master Starks.
Thank you, Judge, and thank everyone for being here and for listening in, and those that may watch this online later. And I'll just say ditto. No.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. I do want to congratulate Daxton. Congratulations. As everyone has said, this is a big deal. And when you and the judge were in front of the dais here, it looked like that proclamation was about half as big as you are. So it is a big deal. And it is your special day. So enjoy it. And just, let it kind of soak in that you are on the right path, you are doing the right things. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting next to Steve and the judge and being here at the court meeting today. So keep that up. Yeah, you still got a long road to go. And you are being looked upon as a leader and a role model, an example. And so just remember that. So congratulations. A.B. Chandler, a great school. And I know that there's probably just a world of things in your future that you can contribute to as you go on. Just real quick, I just wanted to say, like Tim and everyone, let's please be considerate and take pride in our place. We used to have a group called Operation Community Pride, and that's what they really worked on, was trying to make sure that our community looked the best that it could, and we also live by the rules. We do have ordinances in place that if you don't take care of your property, not so good things can happen. And we've had to go through that with some cases. As far as the code of, what's the panel that reviews complaints about property?
Oh, the code enforcement.
Well, yeah, codes enforcement, that's what I was trying to get at. I just want to say also thanks, though, to the Recycling Center. I look forward to that recycling day that you've got coming up. And I also want to remind folks we've got a very special Arts and Crafts Festival that the Lions Club will be presenting October the 4th at the John James Audubon State Park. We'll kick off the the Henderson Area Arts Alliance season at the Henderson County Public Library, just across the street here, very soon with their Big Bang Boom event, and it's open to everyone, free of charge. So be sure to avail yourself of that. And of course, a lot of great things now that we're into the actual season of autumn. It's starting to feel like fall out there. You see a lot of leaves coming down. When it's wet like this, also be careful because those leaves can be slick, so keep that speed down. And with that, everything else is good in the 5th.
Yes, ma'am?
Actually, I wasn't planning to speak, but after Mr. Southard was speaking about our trash issue, I'm speaking on behalf of, we have a new organization called Henderson County Concerned Citizens. We're going to be going by HC3, so you're going to be seeing our name and lots of faces out in public events. And I do believe that's probably something that we might be able to help with. So I'm not sure who we can speak with, but maybe we can be the organizers or, try to get some other groups or clubs or programs, and designate this area, is this is that club's responsibility, or I see it all the time when I go through. I do lots of traveling, and I see it. That strip of land has been cleaned up by certain individuals or certain clubs. So if somebody can tell me who to reach out to, I'm looking at you because you were the one that mentioned that there was money with the budget, so.
I think Eric Higgs would probably be
I was gonna say
a good
probably
starting
Eric.
point. Yeah, our solid waste coordinator who spoke here earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, it may be good to check in with Sheriff Stauffer.
Okay.
But his office is on the first floor all the way at the end. So.
Yes, and the other thing, I would just like to commend the Henderson Republican Committee, actually just to get on record. We had several of us that attended our first Lincoln dinner. So we got to meet lots of local politicians, even state politicians. Judge Snyder was our MC for the auction. I started to say raffle, but for the auction, he did a great job. So if people haven't attended, I believe there was about 200 or a little over 200 in attendance. So had a great meal, catered by Tom's. And so if they haven't went, even no matter what side you're on, it's still an event worth supporting.
I didn't get to make it this year, but it's really a nice event.
It was very nice. And we had 2 tables. And there was 10 to a table. So we had 20 people, that we had that increased attendance and we'll be growing. So it was a very nice event. So.
You just made me it triggered a thought, or I remembered back several years ago, Judge, I don't know if you was still judge or not, or you was judge yet, but we done Sharna Road in different areas, and we had different church groups that would go out, and, you know, you got to have the vest and everything. There's
Right.
certain aspects of it that's
Safety-
legal. that
safety
you have-
procedures, right.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was one, we done that at one time, and then it just.
I mean, it might be something that we can do, and you know, it's
But I-
a
maybe
community
down to some-
organizations
yeah.
and, you know, volunteer, community service projects, so.
Is that group, the new one is that Blythe?
No.
It's not?
No,
okay.
it's not. No,
What's
it's
the name
not.
of it again?
We are going to be the Henderson County Concerned Citizens, so it's just going to be a variety of topics. It's not going to be just one area. Of course, the energy project is one of our areas, but it's going to be other things as well. It's going to be politics, transparency, just anything that's happening in Henderson County that we feel is for the good of the county, so.
Thank you, and
Uh-huh.
I think to your question, Butch, liability and safety were one of the big concerns, and that's why I think coordinating with Eric and Chip Stoffer will be important, because the last thing we want is anybody get hurt, so that's, and State Highway Department for state roads, they're very concerned about that as well.
Right.
So.
Well, and maybe they could offer a patrol car or something, you know, like if it's a time that they know that someone's going to be out, or if there's a designated spot, you know, maybe I see them all the time where they've got a car stopped and their lights are on, you know, to bring awareness to where they're at. So, I don't know. And it may not be that something that we can do because of safety or, you know, whatever, but we can check into it.
Never know
Okay.
until you try.
That's correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? To piggyback off what Steve said, the chamber dinner last night was really a celebration of unity and community. The group did a great job, and the honorees were very deserving, and people you all know. And it was just it was a fun evening, and it also gave me a chance to look firsthand at the massive amount of construction going on at the airport. Really quite an undertaking, and when it's done, we'll have a better airport, and airports are hugely important in economic development. So all in all, big win-win last night at the chamber event. Daxton, congratulations. My sister-in-law, Amy Blanford, worked for many years at Chandler and probably knows you well, and I'm sure she's very proud of you, as all the Chandler family are, all the Chandler Cheetahs. And congrats to the family. I don't have anything else other than we look forward to the next few weeks. I know everybody's going to be going on fall break pretty soon, and we have the holidays coming up. And great to get paving season underway, so it'll be a busy time both for government and our community. And to be honest, fall is one of my favorite seasons of the year. Absolutely one of my favorites. So looking forward to that. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
We have a motion and a second. Daxton, all those in favor can leave.